What up? It's your boy Shady C here. Well, apparently, my political views are somewhat confusing to people. So I thought I would lay it all out here so nobody will be confused no more. So, a lot of people think I'm a conservative. A lot of people think I'm a liberal. Most people tend to think I'm conservative. But in reality, I don't have very many conservative views. What makes it different is even though most of my views tend to be liberal, I'm against the whole SJW politically correct culture, which makes me come off as a conservative. Let me break it down for you. Give y'all all my views. Well, first off, one of my biggest things is the fact that I'm for higher taxes for the wealthy. I believe they need to pay their fair share. They're definitely not right now. Right now, the taxes, I believe, for the wealthy, they paying like, I believe it's what, 28%, something like that. Something like that here in America. And I think it needs to be much, much, much higher. Second off, I support gay marriage. I'm okay with it. But see, at the same time, and this is where it gets confusing to people, I don't support forcing religious organizations to, for example, Christian bakers want to bake a cake, find another baker. Don't need to force them to do that. You don't. That's the big difference between, like, take me and an SJW. They say, no, you have to force him to do it. No, that's his views, it's his business, it's his right. He has the right to not do that. Let's see, I'm opposed to the death penalty. I used to be for it, but I'll tell you what changed. You hear stories of people who were later exonerated after being killed. You hear stories of people, like, they find the evidence, they find DNA evidence that 100% exonerated somebody. So I don't believe that somebody who, there's wiggle room. But basically, I don't believe we as humans have the right to kill anybody. I don't believe we have the right to do that. I'm against guns. I think all guns should be banned. I don't support the public's right to have one. And I believe that the Second Amendment has been gravely misinterpreted by the people. People get upset. The Second Amendment, people like to quote the Second Amendment until you really quote the Second Amendment. Well-regulated militia, dog. Well-regulated militia. They have the right to keep and bear arms. Not the general public. The general public is not I just don't get, first off, I'm going a little tangent, how Second Amendment supporters read that and think it's means the general population. Like, imagine you're reading it. Okay, a well-regulated militia has the right to keep and bear arms. That means us. We're the militia. No, man. No. So I don't support the Second Amendment. Let's see, what else? Well, my big conservative thing, which people get really confused on, is my opposition to abortion. I 100% oppose abortion down the line. And then you might say, well, what if a woman is raped? No, because there's a lot of people out there who were a product of abortion, a product of rape. They didn't deserve to live. They didn't deserve life. I believe, like it says in the Constitution, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Everybody has the basic rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. You have no right to infringe on anyone else's right for those three things. And you have to understand too, abortion is a very selfish thing. It is selfish. It really is. Because if you notice, talk to someone who's had an abortion. Sit and talk to them. You'll hear a lot of I's. I didn't want a kid. I couldn't take care of a kid. I didn't have enough money to raise a kid. See, and that's another one of my views that tends to be more liberal. See, the problem with liberals and conservatives is this. Conservatives only care about the child while he or she is in the womb. That's it. Liberals only care about the child after the child is born. Someone like me, who's more fair-minded, cares about both. So, if you have a child, and you say, you know what, I don't believe in abortion, I'm not going to have one. And then you have your kid. I believe you deserve every bit of funding, every bit of help, every bit of WIC, food stamps, what have you. Free daycare. If you're, and this is another conservative view here, because George W. Bush actually passed this. I believe if your child is in a family... First, before I go into it, let me say, this shocks me that liberals don't support this. Because they're supposed to be so pro-poor people. If your child is in a failing school, a public school that's not doing very well, not teaching your child very well, I believe you have the right to vouchers to send your child to a private school. And Republicans actually support that. Shocks me. Liberals don't. You would think it would be the opposite, because liberals claim to love poor people so much. You would think it'd be the opposite. Let's see. I do support the estate tax, which is what Republicans call the death tax. They want to make it sound scarier. It's the death tax. No. Basically, what it is if you're a wealthier person, I believe there's a threshold. Like if you leave worth, whether it's liquid or capital, in excess, I think it's $5,000. It might be, I might be off, it might be wrong, it might be 10 grand, it might be $3,000, but I think it's $5,000. If you leave property or money exceeding the value of, again, I think it's $5,000, you pay a certain tax on it. Your relatives who are inheriting it pay a certain tax on it. I see no problem with that. It might be more. It might even be $1 million. I don't know. But there is a threshold. Let me tell you this. If you've done well enough in life that you meet that threshold, absolutely, tax it. Absolutely. Your family's going to be fine. It's not going to break their bank. Come to think of it, I don't really think it is $5,000. I think it's higher than that. But I support that as well. Again, what separates me from the pack is that I'm not an SJW. Now, you also got to understand, the left and the right have SJWs. It's not just a liberal thing. For example, somebody... Oh, okay, perfect example. Here you go. Kathy Griffin with the Donald Trump head. She had posed for a picture with a fake severed head of Donald Trump. Conservatives went crazy. How dare you? She was dropped from things. She was fired from things she has had going on. I didn't care. It didn't bug me. It's fake. It's not real. It's not really his head. If it was really his head, then we pursue legal action. She goes to prison. All that good stuff. But no, it wasn't real. Conservatives freaked out. The Roseanne thing didn't bug me. It didn't bug me. I do support... See, because I've gone back and forth on this, but I do support the NFL protest. You know, got down on their knee during the national anthem. That's fine. I don't care. That's what you chose to do. Again, you would think conservatives would be for it because it is a personal decision. Nobody is forcing them to do it. Other players aren't forcing other players. They're not belittling other players. For example, if Frank is a football player and Billy is right next to him, Frank ain't saying, yo, Billy, get your behind down on your knee and do this protest. You know, they're not trying to influence others. Others may, in their own self, go, you know, wait, I think I need to do this, and then they start doing it. So I do support that. My views tend to be all over the place. For the most part, I would say I'm socially conservative and fiscally liberal. Like, even though I do support the right of gay people to marry, whatever, use whatever bathroom you want, I don't personally care. But I also, like I said, support the Christian's right to say, no, I don't want to take part in this. But yeah, for the most part, most of my views tend to lean left. Every single political test I've taken say I'm socially conservative but fiscally liberal. I think I want to do one on the channel in like a reaction video and see what they say I come out as. I think I'm going to do that now, in fact. But just wanted to say, you know, this is my views. This is what I believe. This is what I think. My political leanings, if you will. Tell me what you believe. What are your opinions? What are your politics? Post comments down below. And as you know, this is Shady C, and I'm always right.